Hi everyone. Let's look at the Unit 1, Environment and Urbanization. We will see unique solutions to pollution. Please click on that. So when we say unique, so it means, okay, we are going to hear something about pollution, but it is not only definition or the problems, we will hear some unique solutions. So it means some worldwide solutions. So when you hear the title or when you read the title, please directly work your mind, work your brain to understand the topic. And in this way, you will be more concentrated on the vocabulary, I think, and audio. So please hand out here and download it. Okay, what are they? Let's look at that. First, as you know, we try to understand how to catch lecture language. Because if we learn them, if we learn some phrases, it will help us to follow the audio. So, during lectures, you will hear some explanation signs. Like, let me explain, let me clarify. What I mean is, let's look at how this works. How does this work? I want to show you how blah blah works. Or let me spell this out. Let me show you what I mean. So when we look at the transcript, you will see that for the practice, you will see a short lecture, and there, when you look at that, we look at different ways. So actually, this is lecture language, and you can see what is the topic of today. So you can directly, okay, you automatically hear this one, understand it, but you don't need to write it. Directly, please try to take notes about the topic. So you can write different ways that people do for the environment, for the pollution actually. When you say respond, so it means people are trying to find solutions. So please, while listening, try to paraphrase it in your mind. And later you will see numbers. Okay, this is not lecture language, but also I try to give you some tips about how to listen, how to take notes. So please try to understand the structure. So when we look at that, it has two parts: air pollution, water pollution. There is a comparison, there are numbers. So instead of writing worry about, etc., you need to write the keywords. Be careful, please. And let me spell this out for you. So this is the explanation. Instead of I mean, this means you can hear, let me spell this out for you. Or sometimes they can ask questions like, how does this work? When they change the topic, actually not topic, but maybe they are talking about some different ideas, let's move on to those people, blah, blah. So here we learn about personal responsibilities for the pollution, and later we see such people also work for the community. And also, it is not only personal thing, some businesses are involved, and what do they do? So as you see, you don't see the paragraphs during listening, okay, but look, okay, a lot of people are responding personally. There is a stop here. And later, okay, let's move on to. Actually, you can understand that paragraphs are changing, topics are changing. But if you see, there are some different ideas here, so you need to concentrate on this part more. And let me explain what this means. When you see this one, you understand that, okay, again, an explanation is there. And we have the lecture. We will come there, but before that, as you know, we have questions. Let's see questions. How is the lecture organized? So if you see such a question, even if you don't see these titles, please understand that topic is this, main focus is this, and later the lecture will focus on 2 items, for example. And what are they? Okay, this is the organization. Or when you look at the short lecture, you will see that air pollution, water pollution, and later personal based, community based, and some businesses, what some businesses do for the problem. And what do these numbers signify? Sometimes you need to write the numbers to the questions how much, how many, or directly you can see the numbers and you can wait for the explanation. And what is one of the biggest sources of sulfur dioxide? And when you see this biggest sources, okay, you will hear many biggest sources, but we need only one. What are the four stages of the process of how acid rain is formed? So you will see the process. What are 2 of the ways that sulfur dioxide affects people, and 2 ways it affects nature? First, how people are affected, okay, and how it affects nature. So you already see it on this diagram and you need to put them here. And how does the lecturer define an urban forest? An urban forest. So you will hear this one and you need an explanation. And here you need to write 3 benefits of trees. And actually I put that. Okay. Explain 3 benefits of trees. So listen to the lecture carefully and please watch the second video for the answers. Okay, now we are going to focus on the answers to the questions, unique solutions to pollution. So the question was, how is the lecture organized? So when you look at that, you will see what is the main topic. We're going to look at, today, we're going to look at, so the rest is the topic, right? The problem of air pollution. And what is the first item? Also, we need to understand something. So what is that? I want to look at one of the particularly harmful gases that causes it, right? And then we'll move on to discuss trees. So here you see how the lecture is organized. Yes. And let's look at the second question. What do these numbers signify? And as you see, so sometimes it's problem, like you will hear this one, but it will be too late to write this part. So maybe you can remember population. So you can just put population there. In the second listening, you can complete it. Or you can remember it in your own perception, like in Turkish or something. You can directly write here something, nüfus, and later you can change it in the end into English. And you see 50%, and as you see, we have the world population, and we have these percentage of the world population live in cities. So people who live in cities. And what is one of the biggest sources? What is that? And let's look at that. Material that is burnt to supply heat or power, like oil and coal. So I will look at that. Fuel, but what is that? Oil, coal. So you can write one of them. Yeah. And what are the four stages of process of how acid rain is formed? Unfortunately, again, until this time, you will hear something. Later, it will say to you, the mix forms a substance called sulfuric acid. But how can you understand this is the answer to the question? As you know, in normal conditions, you don't see questions, you directly take notes. So if you understand first, next, blah, blah, these are the processes, and generally you get questions from such parts. So when you hear first, okay, there is a fuel. It is burned. Later, it goes into the air. And next, it mixes with oxygen. So you can just write mix oxygen, put like this, without caring about the grammar or something. Later you can correct it. And later it says, let's look at what happens next. It rises into the air. So rises, you can write. And at this point, mixes with water, mix with water. And later you say, this is sulfuric acid. So if you hear first, second, etc., you need to be careful. Of course, you can't write like this, but you can express it in your own words. And when we look at that, how it affects people, how it affects nature. So let's look at the effects of the environment and people. People, what happens to people? They have difficulty with breathing, watering eyes, burning nose, and throat. So that's it. And effects on nature, ground, plants, growing actually. And it also increases the acid level in water. Actually, we need only 2. So if you write only 2, it's enough. How does the lecturer define urban forest? So here, the urban forest means, you need to be careful. Please don't try to write means. Just write urban forest equals, yeah, you know the symbol? Put it like this and write some keywords. Yep, planting, maintaining individual trees, small forests in around urban areas. And what are the benefits of trees in such forests? We need three. Again, we hear like first, second benefit or something, right? First, here. And also, what does it do? Secondly, right? And only three, blah, blah. So let's look at that. Trees absorb polluting gases. Trees reduce high temperatures in general, and well-placed trees around a home can lower air conditioning. What? Air conditioning bills. Okay, it saves money. Okay, so please check your answers.